What's up, guys, and welcome to another video. And today we are reviewing Fast 9. Now, this will be my 9th and final review of the Fast and the Furious series. For now, till Fast X comes out. Now, I know there's Hobbs and Shaw, but again, as of right now, I'm just not going to cover spin-offs, really. Not really. I'm just not. Because I just don't have the time to do it right now. But I will eventually. But yeah, Hobbs and Shaw I'll do in the near future. Now, apparently, Fast 9, apparently we were originally supposed to see sooner. But due to them wanting to focus on Hobbs and Shaw, and even they claim that Hobbs and Shaw just should never happened, apparently. So, I guess people, or I guess the creators of Fast and the Furious kind of regret, doing this, regretting making that movie, but I thought that movie was fine, I would say. I didn't think it was terrible. And I definitely don't see any, because there's currently no plans of a sequel as of now, okay? And why should they? But hey. Now you may be noticing for Fast 9 is the lack of The Rock. And that is because him and Vin Diesel, both their egos just kept clashing with each other. And as a result, unfortunately, both of them just, apparently the drama between the two, got so bad that they just downright refused to shoot scenes together, essentially. And that's why you don't really see the two really interact with each other. Or at least not really. Not really. Hey, man, I think it's one of those situations where both their egos, I think both of them should have got their egos in check, I feel like. That's what I think. And The Rock has a pretty big ego. Because look at Black Adam, for example. The only reason why that sequel's probably never going to happen is because The Rock is friggin' ego, man. That's the only reason why I say Moana is happening. Because this is like some desperate attempt for The Rock to save his career. That's what it is at the end of the day. So, this movie decides to replace him. Well, not really. With another famous wrestler. John Cena. And can I tell you how they include him? By revealing in the movie that it's Dom's brother. Even though, none of the previous films never mentioned him at all. There was not a single hint that he may have a brother at all. But when you look at the movie and the backstory, it makes sense of why Dom doesn't really talk about him at all. Because apparently, John Cena here, or Jacob as he's called, but I'm just going to call him John Cena. So John Cena here apparently sabotages his own father's car just so he could lose, and because how much deep in debt they are at the time. He was supposed to lose, but he didn't. But his plans sort of backfire on him when the sabotaging accidentally killed him. I hope I don't get demonetized for saying that. So, as a result, although Jacob didn't mean to, or at least John Cena's character here, didn't mean, it wasn't his intention to, But that definitely caused a lot of drama within the family, to the point that he basically got exiled from the Toretto family, because he was basically frowned upon after that. And he even said that he basically was under Dom's shadow throughout his entire life. And honestly, man, after seeing John Cena and other stuff, I think John Cena is a pretty decent actor, I would say. I would say he's a pretty solid actor, I would say. Like, I think he's starting to learn. Because I like John Cena. I think he's a pretty cool dude, alright? But, so, Cypher here. So, John Cena here decides to trust freaking Cypher of all people, who in the last movie manipulated Dom into doing her stuff. And technically, she did that with Jacob or John Cena here. But that immediately, she backstabbed him. And then she essentially got away again to set up for the next movie, I guess. And then one of the biggest things this movie does is retcon Han's death. How they explained it, and this isn't even the most ridiculous part of this movie, by the way. So apparently Han worked for Mr. Nobody, or at least beforehand, and he faked his death by doing some math. So you need to tell me that whole thing was some weird hologram? Wait, what? What? So, my question here is, was the Han that was driving in Tokyo Drift some hologram? What? That makes no sense. That makes almost no sense at all. Like, what type of hologram is that, man? That could easily just roam around. And that isn't even the most ridiculous part of this movie. They even have a Cardi B cameo. And that isn't even the most ridiculous part of this movie. The most ridiculous part was seeing Ludacris and Tyrese go into some car that was made by frickin' Alabama guy from Tokyo Drift, the main character from Tokyo Drift, and Bow Wow. What? And this car they made manages to go all the way to frickin' space with some submarine suits with duct tape. What? That has to be the most ridiculous part of this movie. You expect me to believe that some Alabama dude and Bow Wow and this random guy who you barely see in Tokyo Drift make this car that is strong enough to go to frickin' space? You know what's funny? It's funny how this franchise went from simple car races to frickin' cars going up to space. You might as well call this, like, Dom and his crew go and ride cars up in space. And they're breathing. And and another thing. What type of white shirt does Dom Toretto have? Like, it never gets dirty. Like, what type of white shirt does he have that just never gets dirty? And that's why I believe that he's in some kind of coma. It makes sense, man. It makes sense. But Obviously, that would be pretty dark, but come on. And I didn't even mention, like, the final act where, like, John Cena decides to redeem himself, I guess, which I thought was decent. And I thought the flashback scenes were actually pretty decent. And Justin Lin returns for this movie as the director, who directed one of the best movies in the franchise. I'm sorry. This movie was just not as good as those movies were. I just gotta be honest. And I guess it hints at the end that Brian, like, shows up at the barbecue, I guess. And then we have a post-credit scene where it shows Shaw basically beating up some guy in a body bag, in some punching bag. And then he opens the door and sees Han. And this post-credit scene was like implying that Han was apparently going to turn evil or some crap like that. Or at least was going to kill him or something. And Shaw, obviously, by the look on his face, is pretty shocked. Like, what? And then, I guess they're going to retcon. I guess that post-credit scene's going to go nowhere in the next movie, probably. But, my God. Overall, I thought Fast 9, I just didn't really like. Like, I know this series is obviously ridiculous, but this was just way too far. This is when the series goes way too far, man. It just got too ridiculous, in my opinion. That's my overall thoughts, is that I just didn't think it was as good as those last couple of movies. And that's it. Fast 9 came out in 2021, which was pretty recent as of me recording this. Well, future, it will be a long time ago, but still. And I guess makes like over 700 at the box office. And although it didn't make $1 billion like 7 and 8, but it still made enough to make a 10th one, which is set to be the second to last movie of the franchise. And that's the end of the Fast and the Furious series. It has been one heck of a journey, guys. It's been one heck of a journey to go through all these movies. And at the end, we did it. We actually did it. I want you guys to stay tuned for more movie reviews. And I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.